Hi, this is Amanda from Refurbished Digs. I'm here to show you my captain's chair redo project where I cut off the legs of this captain's chair and I had painted it a while back in an oil rubbed bronze. Just want to show you that it's real maple solid wood. And then I covered it with a clear coat to make sure that I have an extra durable finish on this chair. And then I decided I wanted to do a macrame pet hammock. So I just absolutely am excited to show you how I did that step by step here. So I started off with a rope using a simple crochet knot across the front. And then as I kind of worked through those knots or crochet knots for the rope, I just wanted to make sure that it was going to be nice and secure, and also while being a bit taut for the macrame cords to tie to. So this will be a nice counterbalance rope that I used throughout the project in the development of that macrame hammock for pets to use. So here I am cutting or estimating or guesstimating the length of cords that I would need. It really is, there's no consistency in terms of what size or length you should use. It really just depends on the piece. Here, I think I got pretty close, and I think the end product you'll be excited about. So here I'm just cutting all those cord lengths, same size, across the back of the piece just to kind of see how this would pan out. So as I was cutting those, I didn't want it to get lost in the big bundle of knotted up cords. So I started tying them across with just a simple starter knot there over the front of it. And then I was able to get all my cords ready for my knots. So here I just was kind of doing a loose tension knot so that I can pull those cords loose as I work through my double square knot. Here I had just started off with a couple rows of full square knots across the back or across the front of that rope. So here I'm just showing you that to keep the pattern consistent, you definitely want to start in the same direction. And you can already see where I made a mistake right there, just to the right of my left hand there. So I had to go back and correct my mistake a few times throughout this process. I lost my pattern a couple times, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But here I'm just showing you how to do a simple full square knot. You just do the cord from left to right and then right to left on your starter cord, and then you just keep going. So throughout the process, I was doing that full square knot, but prior to this point, I did test out after those first two rows, I tested out seeing what it would look like in my pattern if I skipped, or not skipped, but I left a bit of space in between my cords where I didn't have any knots. And then I ultimately decided that with that gap in there, pets would definitely get their paws and or head or otherwise stuck in between. So I decided against that for safety reasons. And I'm super excited I did that because I think it looks so cool as we kind of progress through the video here. I just kept that full square knot design throughout, kept it going. There is a point here in the middle where I kind of got lost as to where I was because I had to do this over the span of a couple days just for energy reasons. But I love how it's looking just throughout the process. I mean, look at this. It looks so cool as I work through all of the rows of square knots here. I had to undo some of my work, like I said, and redo it so that I could get back into a good pattern. You'll see here in a second, I still kind of made some mistakes. I had to undo, redo. So nobody's perfect, for sure. We're all learning every day, something new, but I love macrame. It's my new favorite thing to do. So as I was working through that, I draped it and I tried to see, okay, how big of a hammock do I want to make, or how much of a base do I want to make with this? Definitely had to make some adjustments there in the end, but here's the finished product where I felt like I was in a good place. Just to have it tailored to this chair specifically. Then I decided with the finishing knot, I did a half square knot spiral. And then in the middle there, I decided to try out just attaching it on the other side. Decided I didn't have enough cord. I didn't cut them long enough for that. So I switched it to just doing kind of a halfway up the back of the chair there, doing the spiral half square knot, and then cutting it at the ends. So you'll see that in just a second here. But here I'm showing you how I did that half square knot. You just wrap in the same, I guess, sequence, if you will, sine, however you want to say it. But you just keep going. You keep starting with the same cord on the same side. So if you start on the right side, you want to keep starting on the right side as you do each knot. So I went here, I did, depending on how you look at it, from right to left, right to left, right to left, as I worked through the beginning of each half square knot. And then it naturally spirals for you. So how tight those spirals are is really up to you. You can kind of pull them across those two middle cords if you'd like, or to make it a little more of a loose spiral half square knot. But here I wanted a little more tight because I wanted that spiral to be really definitive as I finished off the back of this chair. So here I'm showing you how I did the finishing knot. I just pulled the two shorter cords together, tied those together first, and then I wrapped my other two longer cords around those two shorter cords, and then I just wanted to make sure all four cords kind of came together through the center and up. So here, it's a little bit of a challenge just depending on how the cord is working with you, but I got it to work after a while. I got into my groove. And then here I'm just kind of playing around seeing, okay, what kind of length am I going to have for the finishing product here? So I just finished off those half spiral square knots with the rest of the cords here. And then in a second, you will see how I finished off the look. So super cute, loving the spiral half square knot. And here you can see the finished product. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the shortest cord that I have and use that as my baseline for length of these cords at the end. So as you can see, I use that as kind of a template for my length of the finishing cuts on these cords. So looks so cute. I did a little bit of a fraying method with all of the cords at the end, just so that it gives it some extra flair and fun and personality. You know, with the hammock itself, it does definitely have a lot of design and appeal to it, but, you know, with it being kind of plain colors with the oil rubbed bronze chair color and then the, you know, just off-white natural cord look, it looks really cute. I'm just loving it. And pets can play with those little cords if they'd like. I'm sure cats would love to chew on it or paw at it as just kind of a little fun piece for them. So with that, I decided, you know what, the hammock is a little bit on the narrow side, so I'd like to add a little cushion. So I picked out this herringbone type material for it's upholstery fabric that I just got at Joann's a little while back. I thought it looked pretty good. It definitely ties in the two colors, the color of the chair and the color of the macrame hammock. So I quickly just sewed this. I did a reinforcing of the seam with a double stitching, and then here I had sewn it inside out to begin with so that the seam is on the inside of the cushion. So here I'm just pulling it right side out, and some people, they prefer to iron the seam so that it's a nice crisp seam, but with this heavy fabric, it wasn't necessary. I feel like it kind of made its form just naturally without me having to do that. So then I had left a hole in the cushion for adding the stuffing in. So next you'll see I'm just going to add some batting, some simple batting that I got at Joann's. I got a nice decent amount not too long ago and just used a coupon, so high recommendation to do that. And then as you work on stuffing this cushion, you just kind of play around with it. My friend Amanda from Amanda Panda Projects used like a little just dowel to get it nice and smooth into the edges and corners. I just use it by hand because my hands were able to fit in there. And then you just sew up the seam there from the hole, and you're all finished. So here's the finished product. Loving it. I think it's super cute and plush. I think any fur baby would really enjoy this as their chosen dig to hang out with, and you can put the cushion underneath or on top, whatever you prefer. And that's that. I think it turned out so cute, and I hope to hear some comments from you on what you think. Let me know.